We're heading down into a part of the mining district. There was a couple mines here. I'll discuss, well, one of them was called relic mining. I don't know if that was the name of it. And there was another mining company, which was the major one. 3 million in silver. That's what the mine produced. And when we get to the cemetery, I believe most of the people buried there are pioneers or were miners. We'll talk more about the miners. And mining was a tough business. People would go in and not come out. Very dangerous. But you can see this is Wild West. Look at these rock formations. This is nice. This is really great. But the road is very rugged. Most mining roads were. You'd have an ox cart or an ox wagon or an ore cart with oxen they would load the ore, take it into town, export it for processing. But considering walking up here, it's a little scenic. It's definitely worth, if you're going to visit Unionville, take a walk down this road and you realize how small you are when you start looking at these rock formations, and just wow. But these silver mines were a big business back then. 3 million would probably be worth 50 million in silver in today's worth. Whoever owned these mines or had a share in them was very, very wealthy. However, I don't think any of the mines are accessible, and if they are, I'll definitely go in and get some pics. This is beautiful country. And I guess the reason why I'm doing this video and taking you down this road is to show you really what the Wild West is about. It's not about the town that's down the road. It's about the remoteness. If you needed supplies, because I read somewhere that it was a pain even to haul wood in. Wood had to be hauled here. Yeah, you had some cottonwoods, but not enough to sustain 1,500 residents. And in the winter, it's brutal back here. When Mark Twain came here in the winter, he came here to mine. It's possible that when he came here to mine, he walked up this very road and he looked on the ground and he said, "Whoa, I found gold or silver." And it turned out to be mica. And I bet you that just pissed on his parade. He's like, I better get back to writing. And he went to Virginia City and really made a name for himself at the Ledger, I believe it was. That's a mine debris pile. Let's do some EVP, see if we get anything. Here, you can see such rigid formations just protruding out from the ground. These are rigid rocks. It's all volcanic. You can see a lot of iron. Where there's iron, you sometimes find gold. Is there gold here? I don't know. It's still worth a gander. That is a mine debris pile. There's mining machinery. On the hill, there's a shaft or an ore chute and a couple pieces of mining equipment. I can't get them. They got them fenced off now on someone's property. There's nothing we can do. We can't go to the relic mining because it's in someone's backyard along with the covered bridge. You're supposed to be able to take the covered bridge, walk up the hill, and hit the mines. It's a very lush canyon, so it's overgrown. We'll go a little ways down, but I don't see any. It doesn't appear there's an entrance, because the entrance should be right there near the debris pile, and it's not. Careful, Jared. But the ore chute and the lift where they pulled the ore up out of the ground is on top of the hill. You see those hills? That's the main mining district. That's where most of the silver was pulled out of. And now you just have a few debris piles because there were smaller mines that the Chinese took interest in. After the racism began to die down, they came back. And this is probably just a Chinaman's mine. No less, it is a mine. Even if the mine doesn't exist, I could look in this canyon and I can spot more mines. Want to see another mine? There's a debris pile. That could have been strip mine. This definitely was the mining district. This route also would take you to Star City, which is a couple miles through the mountains, or the Humboldt Range. Beautiful views. This looks like a lot like Star City. And Star City was its sister neighbor, or sister city. So any supplies between stores could be exchanged between cities. You know, you could ride on horseback through here, get to Star City, and be back by the end of the day. Star City's probably, I don't know, if you were to continue through the mountains and on this road, you could probably hit it in 10, 12 miles. It's a pass. It's a canyon. Just like any canyon, it does lead somewhere. Did you find anything? Let me take your picture. Just want to show everybody that iron was very abundant in this canyon, and where you find silver, possibly gold, is iron. I don't see any quartz veins. I am looking around, and it does seem like they've pretty much depleted what silver was here, and that's why the town went from mining boom to an agricultural center. A lot of ranching and farming. All the way out into that basin are cattle ranches. We've seen a few on the way in. The mining has ceased to exist for over a century now. I think most of the mining ended by 1905. But we're heading back. I just kind of wanted to show you how small you feel once you're up in an area like this. We're taking the road less traveled. Let me get a picture coming up here for our viewers. But the ore bin chutes, they'd have this wooden tripod over them and in a shaft where the miners could take those kegs that I showed you earlier in the beginning when we first arrived, load the ore in there, and then there would be a pulley system or gears, and it would pull these ore kegs or ore bins all the way to the top. Could also be used, they would have a ladder in some of the chutes, and the miners could climb the ladder all the way to the bottom, and then there would be multiple tunnel systems. It depends. There's different types of silver mines. Most silver mines are just tunnels that go for a couple miles inside the mountain, while other ones might have 2-3 levels of shafts and tunnels and different. It's kind of like an apartment with multiple levels inside the mountain. And this mine, I believe, where it said Relic Mining, I guess that's the last mining company to take over the Buena Vista Canyon and Unionville mines, was they left one of those ore bin chutes, and it's probably very dangerous. Wherever you see those, there's generally a shaft. And I've seen a few debris piles, but no mines to go explore, which is okay with me. I got to see a lot of old wagons and history and Mark Twain's cabin. I've learned a lot. A Donner Reed party stopped here. Mark Twain lived here. We'll talk about another politician that lived here once we get to the cemetery. It's all good. It's all good. And today, it's all about you, the viewer. This is your founder of the Paranormal Ghost Society, taking the road less traveled in the Wild West of Unionville.